Today I'll be speaking about afforestation in the world of deforestation. When you think of the word forest, what comes to your mind? Is it a memory of a place full of tall trees and bird songs? Or maybe it's something you have only seen in pictures or documentaries. Dense, green, mysterious breathing. Now imagine this, every second we are losing that forest, piece by piece, tree by tree, root by root. This is the world we live in today. A world of deforestation. But in this world, there is something else quietly growing, something not loud, not as noticed, yet deeply powerful. It's called afforestation, and today we are going to talk about this quiet revolution. I am Simi Rawat, co-founder of Flora Savior, an NGO that was born from one question. Can we bring the green back? The answer I believe is yes, but not without effort, not without care. Let me tell you a little story. A few years ago, I stood in a village in Uttarakhand. The air was dry, the hills were bare, children played in the dust where once a forest stood. These hills used to be green, now only memories remain. That moment stayed with me. That memory became my mission. You see, deforestation isn't just an environmental issue, it's personal, emotional, cultural. It's about the place we have lost and the people who remember them. Not afforestation. Let's talk about the world. It simply means creating forests where there were none. Not just replanting, but planting anew. It's the act of returning life to a place that has forgotten how to breathe. But here's the thing, it's not just about putting a sapling in the ground, it's about what happens after that. It's about choosing the right species. It's about nurturing through summers, through rainy seasons and any kind of unpredictable rains or any kind of season. It's about community involvement. It's about respect for the land, for the rhythm of nature. We don't do plantation drives for social media pictures. We do it for the soil, for the bee. We should be doing it for the birds, for the children who will one day sit in the shade of the tree and remember who was the one who sowed this for the first time, who was the one who planted all these trees. There's something meditative about planting a tree, digging into the earth, feeling the soil into your hands, placing the roots in gently like you're tucking in a child. It's like an act of care, an act of hope. And it should be done by everybody. It's like nurturing a being which is not a human but something very beneficial for the humans. Afforestation is slow. It doesn't give instant results, but it gives something more important, a long-term healing. Across India and the world, people are waking up to this. They are realizing that climate change is not some distant future. It's already here. The floods, the heat waves, the food insecurity, it's all connected. And one of the strongest antidote we have, that's trees. Not just any tree, but diverse, native, interconnected forest. In Pune, there is a group of college students that converted an old dumping ground into a living green patch. In Dehradun, we use the Miyawaki method to create dense mini forests in just a few hundred square feet. In every place, we saw something shift, not just in the land, but in the people. And the people who have been taking care of that place and taking care of the plants and have been time to time taking care of it, nurturing it, manuring it. Children started naming trees, elders sat in the shades, butterflies returned, and so did the joy. That's what afforestation does. It gives back life in 1,000 tiny ways. But let's not romanticize it too much. Let's work hard. It's also resistance. But in the world that prioritizes concrete over canopy, afforestation is rebellion. It's saying no, we'll not let profit destroy planet. It's saying yes, we remember, and yes, we care. There are challenges, of course. Sapling dies, funds fall short, land gets repurposed, but we keep going because the only thing scarier than trying and failing is not doing nothing at all. Let me leave you to this thought. The forest doesn't ask for much, a bit of space, a bit of water, a bit of patience, and in return, it gives us everything: air, water, shelter, peace. So maybe the question we should ask ourselves is not, can we afford to plant trees, but rather, can we afford not to? If you are listening to this and wondering how can you help, start small, plant a native tree, support afforestation drives, talk to your local school about a green corner, volunteer your time, or just spend a few moments in nature and listen. Sometimes the trees whisper things that we in our busy lives forget to hear. In the world of deforestation, let's choose afforestation not as an environmental act, but as a way of life, a way of reconnecting, a way of repairing what we have broken. Let's bring back the green. One tree, one patch, one heartbeat at a time. I would like to give you a thorough difference in the plantation, the change in 2023 to 2025, and what kind of focus did India do on if we talk about plantation. Quantitative increase in tree plantation drive. In 2023, most plantation drives were ceremonial or symbolic, often lacking follow-up and care. But by 2024 and into 2025, there was a tragic push for mass afforestation under state government initiative, ESG policies and NGOs, government collaborations. Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Telangana and record-breaking plantation campaign crossing 20 to 50 crore saplings per year. Urban afforestation projects like Milwaukee style microforest also doubled in cities like Pune, Dehradun and Bangalore. Quality shift from quantity to sustainability. Earlier plantation campaigns often focused on planting large number of saplings, but survival rates were very poor, less than 50% in many areas. Since 2024-2025, the emphasis has shifted to native species, soil preparation and watering system, geotagging and survival tracking. Many NGOs, including Flora Savior, adopted the plant nurture protect model, ensuring saplings survived before the monsoon season. The policies and the legal support which was given by the government is National Mission for Green India, received enhanced funding in late 2024, enabling deeper grassroots afforestation. State forest departments partnered with NGOs and educational institutions more frequently. Corporate environmental social governance in 2024-2025 led to increased CSR funds plantation, especially along highways, mining zones and industrial buffer areas. And when we talk about technological integration, by 2025, many plantations began using drones for aerial seeding, satellite mapping to monitor forest cover changes. The monitor cover changes here talks about the canopy of the trees, how much is the forest denser than the last time they have checked. Mobile apps for volunteer registration and reporting. Example, Maharashtra, One Mahotsav app or NGO-led digital platforms to register themselves as a volunteer for plantation and reporting where all they have done the plantation. Community involvement surges between 2023 and 2025 have observed a quite rise. Youth-led green movements, school and colleges, green clubs, village-level forest management committees, NGOs, workshops to ensure tree planting became a part of local culture, not just events. Real impact on ground in regions where consistent efforts were made, such as parts of Uttarakhand and Maharashtra, water tables begin recovering slightly in the areas where agroforestry was promoted. Birds and insects biodiversities have increased. Abandoned lands were converted into productive green zones. There have been at least 75% survival rate if we compare it to the year 2023. In 2023, the survival rate was 40 to 50%, but in 2025 it has started to increase by 70 to 75%. And the conversation around plantation shifted from how many trees we plant to how many forests we grow, from temporary drives to long-term green strategies, from number on paper to root in the ground. This transformation has been slow but meaningful, and NGOs like Flora Saviors have played a key role in bringing depth, care and accountability to the process. I have written a poem and the tag is I plant, therefore I hope. I plant not just a sapling, but a quite sacred vow, to give the earth its breath again, to shade a child somehow. I plant where soil lies wounded, where roots once danced and sang, where greedy hands tore forest down and silence bitterly rang. I planted beside the dry rivers, where water still grew thin, to bring the monsoon back one day, to call the fishes in. I plant not to photograph or praise that comes and goes, but for the trees that humbly grows and love the world it knows. I plant for those who came before, the grand old trees we knew, and for the one who will never see a sky that's clean and blue. I plant because my hands still work, because my heart still dares to stand against the vanishing, to show the earth I care. I plant for the bees and butterflies, for the owls that lost their trees, for whispering winds and nestling wings, for secrets told by the leaves. I plant with hope, I plant with pain, with sweet and sun and grace. I plant because I cannot wait for someone else to place a seed within this aching land, a promise deep and true. Its forest starts with just one tree, then let me be the few. So if you see me plant again, Come join me hand in hand. Together, let's rebuild the green across this tired land. We are the roots, the rain, the rise, the breath of earth anew I plant. Therefore, I love this world I plant, and so must you. Thank you for listening. Stay rooted, stay aware, stay kind.